Well, a very good afternoon, and once again welcome to a Centurions of Video production, coming to you live from Mount Pleasant in Batley for this afternoon's LHF Health Plan National League 1 fixture between the Batley Bulldogs and the Leigh Centurions. Centurions are out first, so we'll give you their lineup. It's at 1 Scott Griggs, 2 Dean Gaskell, 3 Adam Hughes, 4 Danny Speakman, 5 Lee Greenwood, 6 Neil Roden, 7 Aaron Hertemeyer, 8 Ricky Bybee, 9 Gary Sykes, 10 Dana Wilson, 11 James Taylor, 12 Chris Hill and 13 their skipper Julian O'Neill. On the bench for the Centurions this afternoon is at 40 Carl Forber, 15 Gareth Pemberton, 16 John Cookson and 17 Richard Moore. The home side now taking the field, line up at 1 Craig Lingard, 2 Jamie Stokes, 3 Ollie Marnes, 4 Michael Wainwright, 5 Ashley Lindsay, 6 Steve Jones, 7 Jason Duffy, 8 David Rourke, 9 Chris Leigh, 10 Martin McLaughlin, 11 Sean Richardson, 12 Tim Spears and 13 Andy Boothroyd. On the bench for the Bulldogs is a 14 Alex Clemmy, 15 John Gratian, 16 Anthony Henderson and 17 Jack Watson. Our match official is Mr. Ronnie Lawton. The Leigh to play up the slope in the first half. So it's Leigh that get the game underway. Batley in possession for the first time in the match. Stokes running cross field, stopped in centre field. Live behind the play the ball, moves it to the big prop McLaughlin. McLaughlin stopped on his own 30-metre line. Live once more, spreads it out to Sean Richardson, former Leigh player of course. So it's the Bulldogs 10 metres short of halfway. Back to Duffy for the kick. Griggs takes that one, hands it on to Lee Greenwood, who juddles with it, faced with a white wall of defenders, stopped on his own 20. Leigh want to quick play the ball. Roden hands it on to Gaskell. Gaskell makes 10 metres, wrapped up by Stokes' tattle. So Leigh up to halfway now. Sykes spreads it wide to Bybee. Bybee makes it 8 metres into enemy territory. Sykes now on to Wilson. Good surge by Wilson, good defence by Rourke and Duffy. On the last tattle, O'Neill goes to the air, a towering kick. Knocked back by Leigh. Possessions gained by the Bulldogs. Tattle is made by Speakman. So now it's Ollie Marnes who's wearing the number 4 shirt. We were told he was number 3. Marnes, of course, a former Leigh player. Good defence by Wilson. Leigh caught offside. First penalty of the game goes to the home side. Home supporters have been screaming for that from the first Batley possession. Finally they got it from Mr. Lawton. So with the Bulldogs, who made flying start last week, scored 34 points in the first half, playing down the slope against York, only won by 41-34 in the end, but they're on a bit of a run, having won their 2 last league matches. 3rd from the bottom, 8th in the table. Leigh are 2nd from the top. Live now hands it on to McLaughlin once more. Bybee and Hill make the stop just outside the Leigh 10-metre mark. Richardson comes on the inside run. Leigh were all waiting for him. So now it's with Boothroyd. Well, It's try time for the Bulldogs. First try of the game goes Michael Wainwright's way. Comes after just 3 minutes of the match. Centurions trail at Mount Pleasant by 4 points to 0.
Transfer for the Bulldogs, sponsored by the Wainwright family, Michael Wainwright.
Well, this infamous slope that Batley used to great advantage. As Dirk worked for them early doors this afternoon. Steve Jones with the conversion attempt. 4 metres in from this near touch line. But he's wide, narrowly wide. So the score remains Bulldogs 4, Centurions 0. Leigh will be back on halfway with the restart. Should be Jules O'Neill with the restart on a halfway. Gets good distance on the kick. Picked up by Harry Meyer. Hands it on to Taylor. Taylor stopped 10 metres out right in front of the home post. Now it's Rodham. On to Griggs. Griggs steps inside. Richardson took him high on the shoulder, says the match official. O'Neill takes them on now. Good scrambling defence by Leigh. Sykes takes them on, but he's hauled back by 3 tattlers. Leigh want a quick play of the ball. And it's down and it's knocked on, says the match official. Well, Jules O'Neill has been denied a try by Mr. O'Lawton. Instead it'll be head and feet at the scrum to the Bulldogs. Well, Leigh failed to capitalise on that good advantage. O'Neill has injured his leg, I think. So finally the scrum goes down. Batley tried to hold in the scrum. Meyer makes the tattle. You've got to do the defensive duties once more now. Well, the try scored a Wainwright, stopped by Greenwood. Stokes now takes it inside. Greenwood makes the chase and the tattle along with Wilson. Screams of offside all round this stand, even before the play the ball is made. But Leigh now spreads it left. It's with Richardson once more. He stopped midway between halfway and his on the home quarter. On the last tattle now. Duffy puts boot to ball. I think Leigh will let that go dead. He will be quite content to bring that back to the quarter line for the restart. Well, Leigh weren't onside. Leigh can't take the quick one. Well, Sykes now hands it on to Gaskell again. He only makes 7 metres before he's tattled. Sykes spreads it right to Taylor. Leigh almost up to the 30-metre mark. Dana Wilson now takes them on up centre field. Good defence by Spears. Boothroyd on the stop as well. Bybin out. Harry Meyer goes without it. Unforced error. Second scrum of the game goes the Bulldogs' way, and Leigh aren't at the races as yet. So 8 minutes on the watch. Leigh still trailed by 4 points. Boothroyd comes away from the base of the scrum. Won't go down. Referee shouting held. Richardson now takes it on. Defence coming in from Taylor. Leigh spreads it left. McLaughlin bouncing off them. Gets the ball away, the tackle. Spread it left once more, Richardson. Takes it into the Leigh quarter. Better defence by the Centurions this time. Jones now moves it to Duffy. Inside ball is dropped. Sykes tries to catch them on the counter. Greenwood steps inside. Takes the tackle. Hughes now. Goes past the first attempted tackle. Then offloads in the tackle to Sykes. Now with Hill. Leigh over halfway. Making good progress on this set of 6. Sykes now to Bybee. Bybee forced to take the bomb. Leigh 35 metres out. Sykes now. Wilson juggles with it. Takes it the second attempt. Then takes the tackle from Richardson. Broden now inside ball to Taylor. Taylor stopped on the home quarter. Griggs now. Griggs takes the tackle in the end. Leigh on the last one. Broden with the kick now. Good cross kick. Taken beautifully by Adam Hughes. Leigh are in for the first try of the match. 10 minutes on the watch. A fine kick from debutant Neil Roden. And Adam Hughes is over for Leigh's first try of the afternoon to put the Centurions back on level terms. There's now a scoreline of Bulldogs 4, Centurions 4. So it'll be Julian O'Neill to attempt to put Leigh in front for the first time in the match. So it'll be O'Neill's first attempt of the match. He's currently in conversation with match official Ronnie Lawton. We'll stop the clock because O'Neill is taking so long over the conversion attempt. Victory for the Centurions, of course, would put them joint top with Hull Kingston Rovers tonight, but second on points difference. As O'Neill misses with the kick. So I've been playing for 12 minutes at Mount Pleasant. It's now a scoreline of Bulldogs 4, Centurions 4. So it's Jones back on halfway with the restart. Keeps it low. Leigh take it safely. Darnell Wilson will look to clear his lines. Good surge, stopped by Rook and Lythe in the end. Gaskell tries to scoot away from acting halfback. Sykes now. And it's on to Bybee. Bybee almost through the tackle of Duffy. And Bybee is played for not getting up to play the ball correctly. Must regain your feet before you play the ball. The Batley fine touch. 25 metres out now. Driven in by Spears. Leigh won't want to concede so early after they've scored their first point. Lythe now. Hands it on to the big prop Rook. Takes 3 Leigh players to stop him, but they do so. Great position this. McLaughlin That's a superb defensive tackle that by O'Neill. And the ball is lost. Referee's wave play on. Hill looks to catch them on the counter and he loses it. And it's play on for Lingard. Oh no, beg your pardon, Duffy. Duffy's brought to ground just a couple of metres out. Boothroyd is held up by Wilson. Leigh have done a good job of turning him over on his back, so the player will have to come back to the 10-metre mark. Great scrambling defence by the Centurions, but O'Neill was looking to get away with ball stealing there, in my opinion, but he did it cleverly. Leigh now, long pass to Jones. Great tackle coming in from Taylor. Marnes now hands it on to Richardson. Richardson throws it away, hopefully, finds Duffy. Duffy loses his way, hands it on to Boothroyd. Looking for a runner, but Boothroyd was standing. Tattle 10 metres out. Leigh now spreads it left again to Jones. Kick is far, far too deep, though. Jones had no chance of catching that. Leigh will bring it back to the quarter line. Sykes with the tap, hands it on to Greenwood. Greenwood falls to the first tattlers, who are McLaughlin and Richardson. Sykes now hands it on to Griggs. A bit of a high shot from Boothroyd, but he gets away with it. And this time Leigh get a penalty for offside. It's Leigh's first penalty of the match. Playing for over 15 minutes. Jeremiah now will kick for position. So Sykes taps. Bybee takes the first drive, gets up to the 30-metre mark. Sykes finds Jeremiah onto Wilson to Griggs. Gordon goes through the hands of Speakman. Leigh make their first change. Cookson comes on. Good tackle by Taylor, but the offload is made. Good run by Leigh. So good Leigh defence. Stop the Bulldogs on halfway. Inside ball to Wainwright. Good defence by Wilson and Hill. Stokes scoots away from acting half-back, runs into Hughes though, along with Jeremiah and Hill. Leigh finds Duffy. Long ball to Jones. Good Leigh defence, stop him 30 metres out. Marnes now onto Duffy. Duffy with the kick. Griggs does a good job of staying in the field of play whilst retaining the football. So Gaskell looking to clear his lines now. Leigh under a bit of pressure at the moment. The referee stops the game. And Leigh look to clear their lines. Here comes O'Neill. Not the best of passes to Jeremiah. Will Leigh get a penalty? Offside again against the Bulldogs. So O'Neill now will kick for touch, trying to slow the game down. Fine kick by O'Neill. Finds touch just short of halfway. Sykes now to Hill. Hill gets over halfway before he stops, gets it out to Sykes. He was wrapped up by Boothroyd but got away from the tattle, and there was then a tattle by Spears. Griggs now to Wilson. That's a better surge by Wilson. Sets Leigh up inside the home 40. Cookson now. Gets a good ball out to Roden. Roden's all wrapped up by McLaughlin. Batley allowing Leigh no room at the moment. Now Cookson tries to take them on the outside. Good defence though by Jones. Now it's Taylor. Not the best of passes, but Leigh keeping it moving. Brooks is tattled 30 metres out though, and it's the last tattle. Well, Harry Meyer puts boot to ball. Want that to bounce back, it's just too strong. The Bulldogs will bring it back to the quarter line for the tap. And Harry Meyer still out of position. Stokes takes the run. So Marnes now. Great defence by Cookson. Blythe now finds Spears. Good 3 Leigh tattlers in on that stop. Blythe now spreads it left to Duffy. Good hit by Wilson. Rook felt that. Blythe now just inside the Leigh half of the field. Spreads it left now to Jones. On to Richardson. He stopped 40 metres out. Duffy puts the boot to the ball. A high one. Well taken by Griggs. Looks to catch them on the counter. Richardson makes the tattle just outside the Leigh quarter. Well, here comes Gaskell. Looks a good 10 metres. That's what Leigh want. Greenwood now, the 2 wingers making 20 metres for the Centurions down centre field. Sykes behind the play the ball. Cookson gets it out. A bit of a dummy there from Griggs. All wrapped up though by Boothroyd. Leigh just in enemy territory. Sykes now. Short ball from O'Neill. Finds Harry Meyer on the last one though. Kick comes in from O'Neill. It's a better kick. Finds touch. 10 metres from the home try line. It'll be the Bulldogs' 3rd head and feed of the match. Well, the first quarter of this game has gone very quickly. Centurions expected a tight match, and they're certainly getting one. 4 points each at the moment. Duffy feeds. Boothroyd hands it on to Marnes. Marnes is tattled 15 metres in front of his own post. Stokes now. It's a great tattle by Taylor though. Nowhere for Blythe to go. Taylor makes a good tattle again. Good defence by Cookson. Last tattle coming up. Back for the kick from Jones. He won't want it to go dead, but it hits the post and still goes dead, and Leigh will bring it back to the quarter line for the tap.
16. Anthony Henderson replacing number 10, Nathan McLaughlin.
No way through for Gaskell. Rook is the tattler. Sykes now to Cookson. Cookson takes them on. Can't get past Spears and Boothroyd though. Wilson again looking for space up centre field, makes good yardage on this occasion. Trying to get up to play the ball. Hill takes it up this time. He stopped 40 metres out. Again, it's a slow play the ball. There goes O'Neill. Inside ball to Taylor. Good defence by Spears though. Leigh 25 metres out on the last tattle. Kick comes in. Picked up though by Lingard, but a half tattle by Harry Meyer stops the movement, the counter movement. Well, the referee has penalised Leigh for ball pinching.
Substitution for the Bulldogs. Number 8, David Rourke, replaced by 15, John Gray.
So Jones' kick finds touch 4 metres short of halfway. Leigh now. Finally hands it on to the substitute Henderson. Hill is the tattler. Leigh again. Drop though, picked up by Wilson. Hands it on to Taylor. Taylor makes it up to the 40-metre mark. Roden now to O'Neill. O'Neill looking for the gap. Hands it back to Roden. Looked like a high shot again from Richardson, but he gets away with it. Speakman now. Oh, and another. It's the third high one from Richardson. This time the touch judge is on the far side. And it will be penalty time, Centurions. But he got away with the first two. So Leigh will surely kick for position. Or run it. Cookson now takes it in. Taylor now takes them on. Stop 5 metres out. Griggs now to Harry Meyer. Harry Meyer offers the dummy. Almost found the gap then. And then Leigh get a penalty for ball pinching. All very scrappy at the moment. Mr. Law need to get a grip of things. Stops Leigh from taking it quickly. So another Leigh try disallowed. Now he wants to speak to Jason Duffy. So Sykes now. Terrible pass from Sykes to his skipper O'Neill. And the chance goes a begging. 4th head and feed of the match for the Bulldogs. Referee still speaking to the Batley players. 25.5 minutes gone. Scrum will go down 10 metres from the Bulldogs try line. Boothroyd now hands it on. Can Leigh force the error? Leigh now spreads it to Barnes. Before the ball comes out. No advantage. Leigh will have the first head and feed of the match. And it's just 20 metres out from the Bulldogs try line.
Replacing 13 on the program for the Bulldogs, making his home debut approach to the senior academy, number 17, Jack Watson.
Watson comes on to replace Boothroyd for the Bulldogs. So Griggs will feed the scrum. Referee got in the way. So the whole move came to nothing. Gaskell takes them on from acting half-back. Gets it to Harry Meyer. He shrugs off Wainwright and shrugs off Henderson as well. Takes 4 to stop him in the end. They're all over him. Well, Leigh just can't get a quick play of the ball at all. O'Neill now to Bybee. O'Neill to Hill. Hill takes him on. Great strength. Referee says a double movement. That's 3 tries now that Leigh have had disallowed. Ronnie Lawton doing the visitors no favours at the moment. Leigh supporters very unhappy with Mr. Lawton at the moment. Jones will clear the lines for the Bulldogs. Leigh exerting a bit of pressure at the moment. 13 minutes from half time. Playing up the slope in this first half, of course. Good Leigh defence. Harry Meyer and Bybee in on the stop on Watson. Now it's another substitute, Gratian. He stopped on halfway by Taylor. Gratian very slow to get to his feet. Leigh now leading with the elbow on Harry Meyer. The touch judge doesn't want to know. Watson now taking it up. Leigh stop him 35 metres out. Leigh now hands it on to Henderson. Taylor and Sykes make the stop on the last tattle. Can Leigh keep them at bay? Live now to Duffy. Duffy puts boot to ball. Picked up by Greenwood. The anti-tom to Grix. And Grix is dragged over the goal line. And Leigh will have the first line drop out of the match. So having withstood the pressure at the other end, the Bulldogs come back, go the length of the field and force a second set of 6 with the drop out from O'Neill. So O'Neill gets it upfield to Lingard, who takes it 45 metres out, comes charging back. Takes the tattle from Speakman. Well, the position's there for the Bulldogs. Blythe makes it to the Leigh quarter line. Jones now to Duffy. Duffy to a second row of Spears. Meyer makes the stop. Blythe now spreads it left again to Duffy. On to Richardson. Richardson gets the ball out in the tackle. And it's a try in the corner for Ashley Lindsay. Leigh were caught out there. They thought the tackle had been made. Leigh were asleep on that occasion. We're in the 30th minute and Ashley Lindsay gets a try. The second try of the match for the Bulldogs. Of course, the Bulldogs back in front at 8 points to 4. Well, that was poor Leigh play there. 3 men round Richardson, allowed him to offload in the tattle. Mars created the overlap. Lindsay took the try. Now Jones will attempt the conversion. And Leigh are behind for a second time at Mount Pleasant. Jones' second attempt of the match from the far touchline. It's wide again. So the score remains Bulldogs 8, Centurions 4.
So it's the scores, Bulldogs 8, Centurions 4.
So Leigh back on halfway once more with the restart. O'Neill taking as much time as he can. So finally O'Neill gets the kick underway. Safely taken though by Henderson. Great tackling by Taylor. And he makes the stop on Lythe as well, along with O'Neill. Duffy now finds Richardson. This time Leigh don't let him offload in the tattle. Marnes now. Gaskell followed him and made the tattle. Richardson again. Leigh stopping 5 metres short of halfway. Duffy puts boot to ball again, but I think it's going to be too strong once more. And Leigh will bring it back to the quarter line. Sykes waits for everyone to get back on side. Bybee takes the first charge. Takes the tattle from Lythe and Richardson. Sykes now to Cookson. Richardson slightly high again. Once more, Richardson is penalised for a high tattle. O'Neill looks round. Finally finds touch 35 metres from the home try line. Now can the Centurions get back on level terms? Sykes to Bybee, onto Cookson. Cookson stopped 30 metres out. Sykes now to Bybee again. Terrible ball to Harry Meyer. He'd no chance of taking that one. But Bybee then takes the ball, pinches. What's he given? He's given head and feed to the Bulldogs. So an unforced error by the Centurions once more. And in possession. And Duffy feeds. Spears upended by Taylor's tackle. Down the short side. Good tackle by Hughes. He's holding on to Adam Hughes. Great Taylor tackle once more. Now here comes Gratian. Stopped short of halfway by Sykes and Cookson. Blythe now to Duffy. On to Richardson. Oh, and Speakman comes up with the football. Richardson lost it on that occasion. Gaskell now takes it over halfway. Gaskell's taking a knock now. Cookson, and again the ball handler of the Centurions not fluent at the moment. Bybee now onto Taylor, and again a high shot from Richardson, keeps getting away with them. O'Neill now. That's a great ball away. Here comes Griggs now. Griggs looks to accelerate. It's on the way to Hill. Hill cuts back inside, and Chris Hill is in. Leigh's second try of the afternoon. Comes in the 36th minute. Chris Hill puts the Centurions back on level terms for the second time this afternoon. Now a scoreline at Mount Pleasant of Bulldogs 8, Centurions 8, with the conversion to follow. So Richard Moore has come onto the field now. O'Neill talking to his troops. Referee telling him to get on with the conversion attempt. So O'Neill missed with the first attempt. The Centurions will be quite happy with this scoreline at half-time, having played up the slope in the first period. So O'Neill addresses the conversion. And draws it wide of the near post this time. So goal kickers are having a nightmare this afternoon. Now got a scoreline of Bulldogs 8, Centurions 8. Just over 3 minutes remaining.
So 37 minutes, it's Bulldogs 8, Leigh 8.
Well, this game as a contest is very keen and eager in the bright sunshine at Mount Pleasant. Jones with the restart. He's dead. Leigh will have the kick back on halfway. So O'Neill hands it on to Bybee. Bybee loses the football in a three-man tackle. Jones is upended by Taylor. So Leigh need to keep them at bay for these remaining minutes. Great tackle by Moore. Jones now to Duffy. Good tackle, and Taylor once more stops him on the 30 mark. Then the short side to Marnes. He's all wrapped up though by Taylor again. Duffy now. Hands it on to Gratian. Leigh penalised for a high tackle. I think Jones will go for goal to try and put the Bulldogs ahead at the break. We're inside the final 2 minutes. Ball falls off the tee. So eventually Steve Jones, with his third attempt of the afternoon, finally gets one between the H. The Bulldogs are in front for the third time in this first 40 minutes. They now lead the Centurions by 10 points to 8.
Sponsored by number 6, Steve Jones. Bulldogs 10, Leigh Centurions 8.
So O'Neill back on halfway. Just taken by Henderson. Managed to hang on to it. Great tackle by Sykes though. So here come the Bulldogs with Gratian. Tackle by O'Neill. Richardson again. Top 30 metres from his own try line. Now it's Spear as the hooter goes to bring to an end the opening 40 minutes of this LHL Health Plan National League 1 fixture here at Mount Pleasant. It's a half-time scoreline of Batley Bulldogs 10 points, Leigh Centurions 8. Please rejoin us after the break.
Once again, a big sponsors of the big thank you to today's match sponsors, Wesley Talent Supplies.
Well, welcome back to Mount Pleasant for the second half of this Centurions on video production. A reminder of the half-time scoreline. It's Batley Bulldogs 10 points, Leigh Centurions 8. On behalf of your cameraman Fred Parkinson, the show match commentator Derek Disley, bring you the second half of this LHF Health Plan National League 1 fixture. Leigh playing down the infamous slope at Mount Pleasant in this second half. And Batley get the ball from the kick-off with wingman Ashley Lindsay. Leigh were caught out again. Marnes now hands it on to Richardson. Takes 3 to stop him. Lythe now behind the play of the ball. Hands it on to Gratian, who hands it on in turn to Henderson. The defenders stop him. 26-27 metres from the Leigh try line. Leigh won't want to concede the first try in this second half as it's driven in by Watson. He makes it to the Leigh quarter line before Hill gets to him. Duffy now. It's on its way to Marnes. Marnes is cleverly taken into touch by Speakman, and Leigh will settle for head and ball at the scrum. So Leigh will have the first head and feed of the second half, having lost the first half scrums 5-1. Penalties were 6-5 in Leigh's favours in that first period. And now Grix will feed 10 metres from his own try line. Kick comes in for Greenwood to chase, but the ball beats him. Greenwood would have been first man there, but the kick just finds touch 35 metres from the Bulldogs try line, and the Bulldogs will have head and feed at the scrum. So Batley have made their intentions clear at the start of the second half. They're going to try and use the slope to good effect. But Duffy feeds the scrum now. Here comes Wainwright. Runs into Roden and Speakman. So the Bulldogs. No way through though for Lindsay. Leigh now spreads it out to Gratian. Taylor with the tattle on halfway. Leigh again. Duffy finds Henderson. Hill makes the tattle. Duffy now. Hands it on to Richardson. All the way across to Lindsay. But he's forced into touch by Gaskell. And Leigh will have head and ball at the scrum once again. So the scrum will go down 25 metres from the Leigh try line. Roden will feed this time. It's Griggs now. Oh, and the ball's dropped by Aaron Herrimeyer. What a disastrous start to the second half. Three minutes played, 3 scrums so far in the second period. The scrum will go down this time 30 metres from the Leigh try line. Good defence by O'Neill. Leigh now spreads it out to Duffy. And looked a little forward to Watson, but he gets away with it. But Leigh's defenders pushing back 10 metres in possession. Leigh goes down the short side. Herrimeyer chases and makes the stop. Jones now finds Duffy. Runs it inside to Gratian. These defenders stopping 15 metres out. Here comes Duffy again. Inside ball and a superb try by Craig Lingard. Just the start the Bulldogs were looking for in this second half. 4 minutes on the watch. Leigh were caught out there. Great play by former Leigh player Jason Duffy. Craig Lingard is the try scorer. And Leigh have been punished for that poor pass. The Bulldogs have taken advantage and Leigh are under the cosh once more. They trail by 14 points to 8 with the conversion to follow. All the Leigh supporters who are now behind the post to our right are in shock at the moment. Steve Jones once more. It's wide again. So Leigh trail now by 6 points. It's Bulldogs 14, Centurions 8. 5 minutes of the second half gone. And Leigh back on halfway with the restart. So O'Neill with the kick-off. Comes off Richardson, who does well. Leigh claimed for a knock-on, but there was none there forthcoming. Marnes now. Hands it on to his wingman, Lindsay. Good defence by Roden and Speakman. Leigh now scoots away from acting half-back. Bybee makes the tattle. Marnes scoots away from acting half-back. Great tattle by Speakman. But Speakman's injured himself. Leigh's inside forward pass. They get away with that. On the last tattle now, Speakman gets back to his feet. Jones puts boot to ball. Towering kick. Leigh allow it to bounce. That could go anywhere. Another kick comes in from Watson. And the kick finally finds touch 3 metres from the Leigh try line. Well, Leigh are just all at sea at the moment. They will have head and ball at the scrum. But it's 10 metres from their own try line. Sweetman in a spot above her. Now it's Batley's turn to try and slow the game down. The Leigh feed. Ricks looks to break clear. Another high shot from Richardson. Roden now to Taylor. Taylor makes it to the Leigh quarter line. Richard Moore now. Gets a great ball out in the tattle. No way through though for Griggs. Sykes scoots away from acting half-back. And it's a penalty. For a high tattle against Leigh. Leigh get their first penalty of this second half. In fact, it's the first penalty given in this second half. Towering kick from O'Neill finds touch. 30 metres out for the Centurions. Sykes now to Roden, on to Bybit. Bybit's tattled by Henderson. O'Neill takes them on now. A great surge by O'Neill, stopped 12 metres out. Leigh want to quick play the ball. Roden scoots back inside. Puts the head down. Can't get underneath the tattlers though. Stopped 5 metres out, right in front of the H. And Merrimeyer goes without it, and Leigh's chance goes begging once again. Oh, the Bulldogs. Leigh have got to force the error. Great defence by Bybit. Quick play the balls. Leigh are trying to be caught here, but the Bulldogs are up to the 30-metre mark. Here comes Stokes again. Good defence by Taylor. Leigh now gets it out to Duffy. He's upended by O'Neill, who makes the tattle. Marnes now. No way through for him. Taylor again is the tattler. On the last one now. Kick comes in from Duffy. Griggs picks it up. Has to take the tattle and centre field in the end. O'Neill slow to get back for the Centurions. Centurions in a spot of bother at the moment, trailing by 6. Hill now. Hill trying to force it down centre field. Almost makes it to the 40-metre mark. Inside ball to Taylor. Can't get away from Richardson though. Taylor's taking a knock now. Richard Moore now. Stopped just short of halfway. This is the last tattle coming up. Merrimeyer with the kick. Ball wanted to go down. Forces Lindsay to turn round and collect it 10 metres from his own try line. But he breaks up the middle. Leigh are nowhere. There's no Leigh defenders in sight. It's now with Duffy. And Lingard drops the football. What a relief that was for the Centurions. Leigh were totally exposed in centre field. Now Griggs looks to catch them on the counter. Roden steps inside. Good defence by Jones though, brings him to ground. Bybit now. Stopped by the two substitutes, Henderson and Watson. Leigh 3 metres short of halfway. Merrimeyer's inside ball to Hill. Hill makes it to the 40-metre line before he's tattled by Spears. Well, that was a mile forward to Richard Moore, but Leigh got away with it. Kyle Forber comes onto the field now. Hill down the short side, drops the football. And Leigh, once again, an unforced error. Suddenly the Batley supporters find their voices. Forber has come on to replace O'Neill. Well, the scrum goes down on the home quarter. Now can Leigh force the error? Leigh to Jones. Good defence by Gaskell. Richardson again. Forward stops him one-on-one. Makes another 3 metres with 2 hanging on him. Leigh now. Inside ball. Great tackling by Gaskell to stop Gratian, but the Bulldogs have got the bit between the teeth now. Here comes Henderson. Good tackling Hill on the last one. Can Leigh keep them at bay? Watson now. Puts the kick in eventually. Taken by Griggs, but Watson makes the tackle. Leigh was so slow again. Roden now, and Leigh is slow to get back once more. There doesn't seem to be any fire in this Leigh team this afternoon. Speakman tries to clear his lines, but where are the forwards? So Leigh, Greenwood taking it up to the 35-metre mark now. Now with Speakman. Speakman cuts back inside, stopped on halfway. On the last tackle again. Harry Meyer with the towering kick, but that should be too far unless it sits up. And in the end it's shepherded over the dead ball line by Lingard, and he'll bring it back to his quarter for the restart. So the Centurions trailing by 14 points to 8 at Mount Pleasant. 13.5 minutes of the second half gone. Barnes makes it to the 30-metre line. Played for the penalty but didn't get it. Now it's Wainwright. The two Bulldog centres helping their forwards out now. It's a good tackle by Sykes on halfway. Leigh now, Duffy with the kick. Griggs will run it back. He's going sideways. Jones tracked him all the way, and again Leigh are very slow to get back. Harry Meyer now hands it on to Hughes. Hughes looks to break clear and does so. Has he got the legs to go all the way? Inside ball is dropped by Greenwood. Oh, Leigh's looked as though they could have got something from that one, but the chance is lost once again. A fine break by Adam Hughes. Couldn't quite find Greenwood with the inside ball. But Leigh at least have got down to the Batley quarter. Scrum will go down 10 metres from the home try line. But Leigh still trail by 6. This game is a long way from being won by either side at the moment. Good defence. Now can Leigh force the error? Good defence by Forbert. Here comes Gratian once more. On to Richardson, who makes the break. A fine tackle in the end from Forbert again. Now Gaskell's down in back play, holding his thumb. Barnes is wrapped up by Hill on halfway. Home supporters can sense that they want to win this one. Jones is finally tackled. The Leigh player goes down injured. Kick comes in. And Leigh have lost the football. And Batley are on the attack again. And Leigh are down to 12 men at the moment. And it's dropped. Chan scores a begging, and Leigh want to make a change as well. Leigh will have head and feet at the scrum, but Leigh are absolutely all at sea at the moment. Well, Danny Speakman is going to come back. Oh, come on. I think it's Adam Hughes who's down injured. Leigh are calling for a stretcher. And the stretcher's being called for. Home supporters not happy with the situation because their side are in the ascendancy at the moment. Well, no assistance from first aid personnel or stewards. Finally one does appear. And now O'Neill looks to be coming back on, not Speakman. Leigh still not sure. Putting a neck brace on, which doesn't look good. Well, after all that, Adam Hughes thankfully didn't need the stretcher or the neck brace, but he's limping off the field on the far side to be replaced by Danny Speakman. Scrum will now go down 10 metres from the Leigh try line. Referee's not happy. Leigh get a penalty. So Leigh fine touch on their own 30-metre mark. Now, what will that break do? Certainly Batley we're in the ascendancy as Hill drives it forward. Bybee now, and Roden looking to make the break, tattled on halfway. Sykes now to Moore. Moore makes the break, gets up, wasn't tattled, stopped by Leigh and Duffy, 25 metres out. Down the short side, Sykes goes on his own, wrapped up by Watson. Roden now, finds O'Neill. O'Neill gets it back, dodging and weaving, inside ball to Hill. Hill takes them on. Hill of course scored in the first half. Leigh down the short side. No way through for O'Neill, and Leigh concede a turnover. Desperation stakes by the Centurions. Harry Meyer has gone off for the Centurions, as well as Hughes. And a good clearing run by Spears. Leigh's tackling not up to the mark either this afternoon. Long ball now to Watson. Defence by Moore and Taylor. Substitute Clement. Out to 10 metres. Leigh, that was well forward to Rook. Now with Duffy. Duffy throws the ball away. Picked up by McLaughlin. Again, Leigh's tackler's missing. On that occasion it was James Taylor. Now Duffy, the short kick. Well taken by Griggs. Read it well this time. Takes the tattle from Leigh, 40 metres out. Gaskell now. It's away from one. Takes it over halfway. Roden now to Moore, and that looked forward as well. It's a forward pass is going missing this afternoon. Now Bybee. Leigh are almost up to the Batley 30 now. Here comes O'Neill. Inside ball. And now it's with Roden. With Taylor, but Leigh are going nowhere at the moment. Taylor looks to straighten it up. Good defence by Spears. Sykes now. For the dummy, and Leigh have conceded another turnover. Well, twice Leigh have tried the power play, twice it has failed. 17.5 minutes remain at Mount Pleasant, and Leigh have a long way to go to win this one. Good tackling, Wilson. Leigh now moves it left to McLaughlin. Down the short side again. Good defence by Speakman. Leigh now hands it on. Good tackling by Bybee to stop Rook. Jones just puts boot to ball. Taken comfortably by Grix. And then he takes the tackle. Again, Leigh very slow to get back. So now here comes the substitute Pemberton. Gaskell now. Runs into a tackle from Spears. Leigh just short of halfway. O'Neill now. Grix looks for space, finds a little. Tackle by Spears on the 40 line. O'Neill now. Inside ball. Oh, and Wilson's away. Wilson's going to be in under the post. Brilliant play by Julian O'Neill. Touch judge on this near side has not given it. Leigh are in disbelief. And Leigh have been denied a fourth try by the match officials for a forward pass. Well, nothing going the Centurions' way. That looked like a way back in for them. It's cancelled out by the touch judge on this near side. Leigh beginning to get the upper hand. It's points they need at the moment. They still trail by 6. Duffy feeds. Great defence by O'Neill. Now it's Stokes trying to break through. Oh, the Bulldogs on the charge again. Great chasing back by Pemberton. Rook now. Good tattle by James Taylor this time. On halfway. Duffy now to Marnes. Well read though by Speakman. Richardson back now for the kick to Duffy. Well, Griggs picks it up. He's got a line of white players in front of him. So it's the substitute Pemberton now. Where will this break come from Leigh if it does come? O'Neill now. Finds Hill. Hill shrugs off one. Not two more. Bulldogs can sense this one's there for the taking. Bybee stopped 5 metres short of halfway. O'Neill now. O'Neill runs it on his own in the end. Now with Roden on the last tattle again. Kick comes in from Forbert. Taken dead by Stokes, and it will be a drop out under the posts. Last, Leigh have got something out of the 6th tattle. We'll get a second set of 6 here. Now it's the Bulldogs playing for time. They're in no rush to get on with things. 13 minutes of normal time remain at Mount Pleasant. Centurions trail by 6. Grix takes that, hands it on to Wilson. Wilson shrugs them off, makes it into the home quarter once more. Now what can the Centurions conjure up here? Bybee now to Hill, back to Ivy, juggled with by Pemberton. Leigh somehow managed to hold on to the football, but they can't unlock this tight Bulldogs defence. Hill will take them on again. Former now. O'Neill steps inside, and Julian O'Neill has been denied again. 5 tries Leigh's have been denied by the match officials. The Centurions can do absolutely nothing right. Here comes Stokes, wrapped up by Speakman. And a penalty for the Centurions now. Not playing the ball correctly. It's only the second penalty of this second half. The ball come the Centurions' way. So Roden puts the kick out just inside the home quarter now. Sykes. Wilson takes them on again and rocks the football. Chance goes begging. Centurions have missed another try-scoring opportunity. Well, Batley supporters are in full voice now. Duffy to feed, 10 metres from his own try line. Batley tried to hold it in the scrum to try and catch Leigh offside. Wainwright looks to break clear, stopped by Greenwood. And Leigh penalised for 2 markers. Batley get their first penalty of this second half. Duffy in no rush to get on with things, wants Jones to kick for touch. He took the clock. 10.5 minutes remain. Centurions still trail by 6. Boothroyd now shrugging them off. Terrible Leigh defence. He's still going. Live now, hands it inside to Rourke. And he makes it 5 metres into the Leigh half of the field. Now it's still the prop McLaughlin dodging and weaving. Bybee finally gets to him. Live now to Jones. On to Duffy. To Marnes. Well read again by Speakman. Taylor completes the tattle. Richardson hands it on now to the substitute Clemmy. Last tattle coming up. Well, the kick came off Roden. Leigh get the football. And Richardson is penalised for not letting him play the football. He tells Batley to get on with things. So Leigh in possession, 5 metres inside enemy territory with Taylor. McLaughlin is the tattler. O'Neill now. On to Hill. It's a good tattle coming in by Wainwright. And Leigh are penalised. They're asking what for? He only got up to play the football. He said he stepped off the mark. He couldn't play the football because the Batley player was interfering. Well, Mr. Lawton is in charge. So the Bulldogs back on halfway again. Things still going their way. Now that was stepping off the mark. Must have been. Not given. McLaughlin now throws it away anywhere. Picked up by Jones. Good defence by Wilson. Surge by Clemmy. Batley know another score would settle this one. Duffy inside to Marnes. Great tackling by Taylor. Duffy again. Dodging and weaving. Will the Bulldogs try and get 1 point? It's on the last tackle. comes Jones. Inside ball again to Lingard, and he gets the ball out to Stokes. And he's held up on the last tattle. Leigh will get the first turnover of the match. Now it's Pemberton driving it forward. And Leigh need to retain their composure here. Gaskell makes the break. No, Gaskell's got the legs. Good defence by the substitute Clemmy. Well, Sykes is still going. Leigh were all at sea there again. No fluency in the play this afternoon. O'Neill now to Forber. And it's to the touch judge in the end. Another chance gone beg him. And home supporters sense victory here at Mount Pleasant. 6.5 minutes to go at Mount Pleasant. Bulldogs 14, Centurions 8. Well, I thought Gaskell would have tried to use his pace with that last break, but he didn't. With Tuttle and Taylor. Marnes now scoots away from acting halfback, runs into Hill, stopped on halfway. Now it's Rook. It's the ball away to Leigh. He takes the tackle. Good defence by Speakman there to stop Richardson. Duffy now hands it on to Spears on the last tackle of the game. Kick comes in from Jones. Didn't bounce kindly for Griggs, but he got to it in time. Well, now Pemberton driving it forward, stops on his own quarter. Bybee on the charge now. Top 30 metres out. Well, one out rugby's no good to the Centurions at the moment. O'Neill. Oh, a terrible ball to Roden. Leigh just nowhere, composure-wise or skill-wise this afternoon. And Roden comes off to be replaced by Harry Meyer. Oh, the scrum will go down on halfway. It's Batley's 6th scrum in this second half, all off Leigh errors. Spears comes from the back of the scrum, tackled by Speakman. Driven up now by Boothroyd. Who stepped off the mark just like the Leigh player did, but didn't get penalised for it. Good defence by Sykes on this occasion. Lyth now hands it on. Good tackling again by Sykes. Hill on the stop as well. McLaughlin could be driving for the one this time. It's on the last tackle. Jones's kick is well wide. Leigh will bring it back to the quarter line for the tap. Well, Leigh just didn't know what to do with that. The organisation's gone on everything. Moore now. Takes 3 to stop him in the end. But this Battler defence has given a good account of itself this afternoon. Hill It's well wrapped up there by Wainwright's tackle. O'Neill now to Wilson. Wilson gets over halfway. O'Neill again now. On to Harry Meyer. Good defence by Richardson on the last tattle now. And